Alright, more showcase on Fuxi. This time around I have his S3 maxed out. I got super lucky. Check this out. Look at this. 3 skill ups. 2 of them went to his S3, so I can just stop right here. But if I want more damage, then I can go for his S1 as well. It's not that much of a difference because I'm building him as, you know, more attack base rather than HP base. So even if I were to give him these skill ups on his S1, the damage increase would be not that much, but it's still something. Even if you get unlucky and you max out his S1, it's not really the end of the world. So this time around, I'm going to show you Dark Starlord. As you can see, my Dark Starlord score is 29 million. I went from 18 million to 29 million with this guy, and I still don't have a Shen pin. And my Embla is at R5 right now. If you have an R6 Embla, this would just be even better, because right now he is Embla's best friend. Because whenever your ally S1, he will just follow up, and then he does 3 hits, and Embla just needs 8 hits for her to proc the Corrupted Seed, right? And whenever she procs her Corrupted Seed, she gains 30% AP right here. Embla gains 30% AP when Corrupted Seeds are removed. So whenever you pop the Corrupted Seed, Embla gets a turn. Embla is going to cast her S1 or S3 or S2, whatever, and apply another Corrupted Seed. So the reason why he's so good with Embla is not because of the hit count alone. It's because Embla is one of the fastest DPS that we have currently because of the amount of AP that she gains, which means the fact that she is the fastest DPS in the game while not having any, you know, buff extension in her kit. Other supports with her doesn't really work all too well. So if you were to run like a Sachiko with Embla, Embla will not have the attack buff up pretty much at all times. You will have it up for 2 turns, but due to Embla being extremely fast, and if your team is built entirely around Embla, she can just pop the Corrupted Seed insanely fast and gain a bunch of AP and exhaust the attack buff on her. But with Fuxi, he gives his buff from the Heaven's Wheel effect. So whenever your Embla casts any skills, she will get a random buff of attack up, speed up, or crit damage up, right? So she can get the buffs outside of her turn. So whenever she does a pursuit from the relief set, that could potentially give her attack buff. So she could renew the attack buff anytime that she wants. Whenever your Liam casts the S1, she is going to pursuit as well, because she has the highest attack in the team. That's also going to give you an attack buff. Or whenever she gets a turn and casts her skills, that's also gonna give you an option to get an attack buff. So the attack buff on her when you run her with Fuxi is a very high uptime. If you get lucky, then you can get it up for 100% uptime, which is very uncommon for Embla teams. So I've changed up my teams a bit. This time around I'm running, I removed Brewster from the Embla team because I have a lot of defense breaker in this team already. He defense break, Embla defense break, and Haley also defense break with her S1. And I moved Brewster up there to give more damage to my other team. My weakest team right now is my team 2. I think it only scores at about 4.7 million. If I have a Shen pin, then I could maybe push to 8 million or something like that. But yeah, this team 3 can score up to the 29 million score I got. This team 3 got 22 million damage on its own. 22 million damage. Okay, I'm gonna do a few blitz and maybe mimic the 29 million score, or maybe get a higher score than that. There we go, 28 million. Take a look at the score, right? He's doing second highest damage in the team. He's doing more damage than Neutron, more damage than any of the units except for Embla. Embla did 11 million. He did 4.5, so that's like 16 million. 17.5. What is that? 19.1. No, 21.1 million damage. That is crazy. And that's just one team alone. 21.1 million damage on one team alone. Okay, yeah, again, the RNG with this team is still a huge range, but it's less of an RNG compared to the previous Embla comp. But still, 19 million, that's already higher than my old high score. and this team can score pretty easily above 20 million. Again, 18 million. It really depends on your team 3 score. If you have a Shuan Pin can push your score even further for the other team. There we go, 24 million. Because Shuan Pin, the reason why Shuan Pin is so good right now from for Dark Starlord is because she has the miss rate up debuff. And the reason why I am still using Yun Chuan for the Embla comp is because he is the only unit that can provide a sustainable damage suppression from Dark Starlord, because he has the miss rate debuff and the third eye steal. So even though he's not really doing damage all that much anymore, he's like 4th DPS in the team. I'm still using him due to him having the miss rate up debuff. And the same thing with Shuan Pin as well. If I were to have a Shuan Pin, then I could remove either her or Clara or even Sachiko right here. So I can push the team 2 score a bit further. Right now my team 2 gets one-shotted when the boss gets to about 4.5 million score. So if I were to have a Shuan Pin could reduce the damage that the boss is doing by 75%, because if you miss, if I'm not mistaken, if you miss, you do 75% less damage. So that's the only form of survivability that you can have whenever you're trying to push for high scores, which is miss rate debuff. And that's why Shuan Pin is still like the best, one of the best supports for, you know, Dark Starlord, because when you get to a high score, he just starts one-shotting your team. Okay, this time we got 13 million. I'll show you like the 29 million run after this. But yeah, if I were to remove Yun Chuan, my Embla team will just get one-shotted pretty easily. Let me just show you real quick. So if I were to remove Yun Chuan and put in an Alice, for example, you'll see that my score will heavily tank, because once I reach 4 million, 4.5 million, my entire team just gets one-shotted. So the heals from Feng Shun would be pointless, because while he is the best healer currently, if you get one-shotted, then it's useless, right? The only way that you can kill the team is by one-shotting if the heal is too much. So see, 13.8, and the score is just about 4.5 to 5 million. You can't really go any higher than that, because once the boss takes a turn, you just get one-shotted. And yeah, because there's no miss rate up debuff. Again, you can't really go that high. I think this one he didn't crit me or something. I'll show you one more time. Yeah, there we go. It's the average is super low when you don't run a Yun Chuan. Maybe 4 more blitz, and then I'll show you the highest score. Okay, well, this one's pretty crazy. 12.6 million. Okay, 19.6. Again, it really depends on the RNG of the team 3, but again, the RNG right now is way better than the previous Embla comp, because you just pop the seed super easily. Again, if you have your Embla at R6, then you only need 5 hits for her to proc the thing, which means that if your Liam does an attack and followed up with this guy, that's already a seed pop from Embla, and then Embla can just reapply it, and then yeah, it just goes way better. I'll show you the 29 million run right here using the same team. I'll show you the team 2 on why miss rate up debuff is super important when it comes to Dark Starlord. Like, even if you have like an insane amount of damage, there's not enough burst damage that you can break through 6 million without a miss rate up debuff. To break through 6 million score without a miss rate up debuff, you kind of need to do like 1 million damage plus on one turn. Otherwise, you can't really do that to break 6 million, because the boss just gets too fast and you cannot really lap the boss any longer. And when he gets his turn, he just one-shots you. So the score is about 2.7 million for the team 1, and you'll see that for the team 2, whenever I reach like 4 million score on this team alone, my units will just get one-shotted. It doesn't matter how much damage I have and how much shield I have, my DPS will just get one-shotted. And the only way that I can circumvent that is by bringing a unit that can misrate up the boss. So you can maybe try, if you have like a really high dupe Intisar, you can maybe try to remove one of these spots for Intisar, either Sachiko or Clara for Intisar, because Intisar has a misrate up debuff on her S1. So if you can use like maybe the relief set on her and have the misrate up debuff uptime high, you might be able to push for like maybe 6 to 7 million without a Shren pin. But if you obviously if you have a Shren pin, then just use a Shren pin in this team, right? Because then her S3 can just apply the misrate up for you, and if you run an Ocean Waves on her plus Sachiko, you will have the misrate up debuff for a good amount of time. You can maybe even try Catherine if you want. I haven't tried her yet because again, there's not really a spot that I can sub out any of these units. Tever does a lot of damage. Brewster for the defense break, and he is also the highest DPS in the team due to having Sachiko in the team as well to reduce his damage. As you can see, this is not even like 4 million score, and I'm almost getting one-shotted from my Tever, and my Tever is D4 by the way, so he has a lot of tanky stats as well. If you don't land a buff block on him on the boss, he will steal your buffs, like attack buff. If he gets your attack buff, then he just one-shots you. Or if he gets like a crit rate up debuff, crit rate up buff, then he could also one-shot you even without getting to 4 million. So that's another problem that you have if you not running misrate up debuff. There we go. There he starts one-shotting your units. My Brewster just took like 20k damage, and this team only scores about what 4.2 million, which is not high. Even though I have like two really strong DPS, Brewster plus Tever, I still can't push to like 5 million or even 6 million. And this is the team that we're looking for. Look at that. The score is 6.9 million, and my total score just now that I showed you was 29 million. This team alone got to 22 to 23 million alone. I'll show you like the damage layout after this, but yeah, this is why he's like the best friend for Embla. You will see that my Embla will have like the attack up pretty much at all times if you get the right RNG, that is. But again, with this team, you kind of want to rely on RNG because Embla is just that character. If you rely on RNG with her and you get the right RNG, the team can just pop off like crazy, right? As you can see from this team right here, scoring 22 million to 23 million alone. And you'll see that my units will have like full HP pretty much at all times, because whenever he pursues, he heals the allies, the ally with the lowest HP. As you can see, he heals for 13,000. Make it make sense. He heals for 13,000 per pop, and he also gives lifesteal to your allies. My Embla just healed for 43,000 damage. Look at that. He heals for 12k per pop. It makes no sense, man, this character. Yeah, his additional damage is 24,000, by the way, per pop. Yeah, he's just insane. When it comes to healing, when it comes to support, whatever he does is just stupid. Even his DPS is the highest in the second highest in the team. You'll see that whenever my Embla puts a debuff, corrupted seed debuff on the boss, it just goes away super fast. So she just put it, now it's already at 7 stacks. And because of Liam, she has the corrupted seed up again, and it's already at 4 stacks. That's how good the combo Fuxi and Embla is. You just pop the corrupted seed so super fast, and with Liam being super fast as well, you can apply the corrupted seed again, and if the corrupted seed pops, then Embla can get a turn again. Look at that. She just gains like a bunch of AP because of the corrupted seed pops. If you have her at R6, then it's going to be even better, because right now the problem with this team is that I do too much damage that the corrupted seed on these two guys can't really pop at their full stacks. What I mean by that is that they will mostly die first before I get to pop the corrupted seed on them. So I think this guy is probably okay. No, this guy managed to get the corrupted seed to pop, but whenever I spread the corrupted seed, like right now, right here, right, this guy will probably die first before I can get the corrupted seed to prop, which means I'm losing a lot of AoE damage. R6 Embla, the upside to R6 Embla is not just from the damage that she does, but because of the hit count that she needs. So this time around, if you have an R6 Embla, the 2 adds will just need to have 5 hits on them, and you can proc an additional AoE damage. And since Dark Starlord has 3 enemies, that AoE damage is what brings you an insane high score, right? So right here, as you can see, the 2 adds right here, the corrupted seed didn't proc because I needed 8 hits instead of 5 hits, and that makes a huge difference. If you have an R6 Embla, if you get like really lucky and you get like 5 stacks, 4 stacks, 4 stacks, the burst damage that you can get from that is up to like 1,000,000 plus. So yeah, you can really push like a crazy breakthrough with an R6 Embla compared to like R2 Embla. The difference between R0 Embla versus R2 Embla versus R6 Embla is insane. It's like night and day and heaven and earth or something like that. Because R0 Embla doesn't do the AoE damage, and R2 Embla starts doing the AoE damage, but it lacks the hit count to pop the seeds on the 2 guys, and R6 Embla has the hit count to pop the seeds on the 2 guys, where R2 Embla doesn't have, right? And that's what pushes your damage even further with Embla. Again, I've been rambling on for too long. There's 18 turns left, and you can see the score at 24.6 to 25 million. I just take way too many turns with Embla and Fuxi and Liam, because Liam is super fast with a wind set, and he also gains like 30% total speed from his passive as well, and also from the speed up buff, the constant speed up buff from Fuxi whenever Liam casts an ability helps Liam to cycle even better. Because Liam is also one of those characters that you can't really run with any supports. He doesn't really work well with other supports because he gains an additional turn without extending his buffs, and he is just super fast. So any like speed up buff doesn't really he just one shots my unit. So any speed up buff on Liam just gets removed super fast as well, because he takes an additional turn, so that's 1 turn wasted on the speed up buff, and he's already super fast, so he just gets his turn pretty much instantly anyways if you have a speed up buff on him. And yeah, that's the team. Embla on her own did almost 13 million damage, plus Haley that's already 13 point something million damage. 14.6, 14.7, sorry, 17.6 plus this 1.3, 17.9, 18.9 plus this guy almost 21 to 22 million. So yeah, that's one team alone. This is my Yunshuan. I have Yunshuan with low attack, so even if he gets the attack buff, my Embla will still get the buff from Liam. So yeah, he's on the Harmony set. He's the only one with the Harmony set. And Avatara, Liam is on Wind set and Stone Vein. Crit damage right here because I want him to do a little bit more damage as well, and just pump as much speed on him. Haley is on the Relief set, crit damage, defense and speed with Avatara, so that I can run Fiery set on Embla. So Embla is on the Thunder set. If you have a really good Calamity set, that's better. Like if your Calamity set is just as good as your best Thunder set, then run Calamity set, because the boss will pretty much have a debuff on them at all times. My crit rate is pretty low on her, 65%, but it's not really that big of a deal. It's better if you get like 100% crit rate, because this team does not have any crit rate buff on the team. And then lastly, my Fuxi. Once again, my S3 is maxed out on him, and this is very important to have maxed out, because he goes from having a 50% uptime on the Marsh Wind zone to 75% uptime, and that makes a huge difference. And if you have him at Ocean Waves, he can have the Marsh Wind effect pretty much 100% of the time, and that's what you want. So he can pursue with his S1 as many times as possible. So once again, his runes is crit damage, attack, and speed. I've explained this multiple times. The reason why you want attack on him is because you want at least 2000 attack on him, so that you don't cap out as easily. Bosses will have a 100,000 artificial HP, and dealing 2% of that damage every hit that you do will maximize your damage. And crit damage, because he scales the additional damage scales with crit damage, so you want crit damage on him as well. I'll show you the Team 2 runes as well. That's Brewster, Elaine, Sever on the relief set, Sachiko, and Clara. And yeah, that's about it. So far, I've done, look, my Sonica went from 28 million to 32 million. But this one is just Team 1 RNG. So the last test is going to be on Phobiter. He's probably going to be really good as well on Phobiter. I'm probably going to break my high score again with Phobiter, because the combination with him and Embla is just way too good. And you can't really pass up on that. Dark Starlord is going to be his best team, because Embla is the best unit for Dark Starlord. You can't really do anything about that. And he just helps Embla way too well in Dark Starlord. So yeah, that's about it for the showcase for now. And yeah, ciao.